In this plain, unassuming box, we have a computer case. Let's see what we've got today on Nelly's Nerd Cave. Hey there fellow tech enthusiasts, and welcome back to Nelly's Nerd Cave. And today we're diving into the world of PC hardware with a particular review of this particular thing here. In this box, very thin box and very unassuming plain cardboard box, is the BC1 Open Bench. And this is really good, so you need to pay close attention to this one. So this is the first time I'm using this, and this is the first time I'm seeing this particular thing. And looking at this packaging, it's remarkable that there is an actual full ATX case within here. The box is just so plain and simple. It has a very simple logo on it. So let's have a look and open it up and see what's in there. First of all, let's talk about the design of this particular box. It's very sleek, it's very stylish, it's all fully recyclable. So let's open this box and find out what we've got in here. So I'll get my knife, try not to cut the thing that's in there. So this is the first time I've seen it, and this will be my first reaction to what's in here. This particular item was purchased by myself. It is not sponsored at all, and so we're getting a good look at this, and we can open the box and we can see that in the bottom we have this wonderful QR code, and this tells us that they are hopefully giving the best possible service, and they've made the decision to omit a printed user guide. So to get the user guide, you follow the QR code or the website at the bottom, and then you can gain that QR code. I say QR code, I mean instructions how to utilize this particular thing. So first of all, let's talk about the design of this BC1 V2. It's sleek, stylish, and it's built for convenience. As you can see, it's made from one piece of metal and it's one piece of aluminium, and it's absolutely amazing. This enables you to then be able to have all your components on display. With this, we also make sure that we can keep things such as assembly very simple. So let's take this out of the case and let's pop this box away, because it's a very nice box and I quite like it because it's nice to recycle. So here we have the actual thing itself. This is a full ATX model. It's the gunmetal grey version which I ordered, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Has all the screen printing on there to show you what's going on. And let me just open this. I will get my knife again and we'll carefully cut this open because I don't want to scratch any of the aluminium that's in there. Or if there we go. So these must be there to protect everything within there, so that we can keep everything nice and tidy. It looks absolutely stunning. And you can see that in the bottom I have my Nelly's Nerd Cave within there, which is unfortunately it's an extra charge, but I think it's a charge that's worth keeping, because this particular case can be customized in many different ways. It comes in black, it comes in standard aluminium silver, or it comes in this light grey colour, and I know it doesn't look particularly grey, but it is, and it's a very nice gunmetal grey. All the components of this particular case are all housed within the sheet of aluminium that you get, and it's 12mm thick, so it's quite a thick wedge of aluminium here, and we have all our screws that we would potentially need to mount all our hardware. I did go and purchase the extra power switch as well, so that I can use a power switch I also purchased an extra bag of the screws that they use, which are the push pin ones, so that we can use these for quick release, and they're really nice, very well thought out, very beautifully designed, but we'll come back to those. So the case itself, we have here the two legs, and all we do is we unscrew this particular section here, and then we unscrew this one, and then it should just drop out like so, and the same on the other side. And on the bottom of this, you'll see that there are some little rubber feet, and they've got some really good rubber feet on the bottom, which will help with grip along the way. The screws in the top come all the way out on both sections, and these screws are used to actually mount this, or mount the feet to the actual case. And you can mount these feet in multiple different ways, so we can mount them so that it's a standard test bench, for example. And we can mount them so that it stands up, so it's off the table, and we can see that it's pretty much a standard test bench. Or if you're somebody like me who is doing these to be able to show off PC components, what we can actually do is, so now we've got these, it's very sturdy, we can unscrew these again, and what we can actually do is we can put these in a different orientation, and we can make it so that the case actually stands up. Now, I have read about this, but I haven't seen how it works. There we go. See, me not reading instructions doesn't always pay. So you put this back in this slot, in the same hole that you had it before, but what you've got now is you've got this slotted hole at the top here. And then what you can do is, once you've got the other leg on, it props itself up so it can stand up. That way then we have our system stood facing the viewer so that people can see it. The good thing about this means that the motherboard will then cover a power supply, etc. So we've covered the stand and how it works with standing things up. Now what we've got with this is we actually have the standoffs for the motherboard itself. Now the standoffs come in two different varieties. You have the standard normal standoffs, or you have the ones that are the quick release ones. Now I'm going to just use the quick release ones because I quite like these. And what we can do is we can get these off, and there should be 8 of them, and I've just bought another 8 as well, just to make sure that I have enough. I know you shouldn't need more than 8, but it's always good to have some, just in case things actually break on these, because they do look quite fragile. I'm going to put the feet in as well so that we've got all the feet together, and again we can investigate what else this thing can do. First, before I put the feet on, I'll put these on. So this is where the PCI slots go because of all the holes, he says. So this is where the standoffs go. So this must mean that this bit is where your IO shield goes. So that means that we've got these up here, right at the top. Again, looking at making sure this is all set up. Now what I am going to do is I am actually going to install a motherboard on this, and because I'm not following instructions, you can guarantee that I am putting these in the wrong places. And I'm probably going to have to unscrew the bottom ones, or the middle ones should I say, to make sure that they have all the relevant screws in the right places. I think the top ones are correct and the bottom ones are correct, especially for a full ATX, but you never know. So here, this is the motherboard I'm going to use behind me. This is the MSI Pro Series, the B360A Pro. It does 8th and 9th gen processors, so I'm going to put this on. You don't need the I/O shield for this, because this case, it should be enough to hold this and be able to work correctly. So we can see that those are right, and those are right, and those are right. And you can see that you get 8. Okay, this motherboard actually needs 9 pins, so it's a good job I bought the extra bag. Absolutely fantastic. So extra bag was well worth it. Make sure they're nice and tight, and you should then be able to clip this in. That's marvelous. That's so good. And they're so strong you can actually lift the whole thing up with the motherboard. Marvelous. That is absolutely fantastic. You also get some space in between the motherboard and the base plate, so that then you can put an I/O shield on, or the bracket for a fan, etc. on the bottom. Fabulous. Okay, so we've got our motherboard onto here. I'm just going to screw the feet on, but before I screw the feet on, try not to lose the screws now because they'll be expensive. Let's have a look at how we actually mount something like a power supply. And you should be able to mount a power supply on here, as well as all sorts of other peripherals, such as the SSDs, and I'll show you those shortly. But you do have 2 different types of screws. Yeah, so you've got the normal M3s, and it looks like you've got the other power supply ones here on the side. So you unscrew what you want. Normal power supplies take 4. Let's take 4 out just in case. It has on the back, we can see that it has these are captive, so they don't fall out, which is really nice. And now we have our screws out. Let's take a power supply. So here we have a power supply. Let's measure this up. I'm going to put the fan at the top, purely and simply because we generally, this is going to go at the bottom, so you're going to choke a fan here, which is going to be very difficult to keep airflow unless the fan is pointing up. So we put our screws in and we measure them all up and make sure that they're all in the right places, like so. Can I get any others in there? No, I cannot. However, I can. One more. So this particular power supply now, and this bracket is taking 3 screws for your power supply, not 4. So we now have our power supply on. I shall pop this back before I lose it, because I'm good at stuff like that. And then if I put, which way round should I put this? This way? That way, that's my 8-pin power. Will that work? Okay, that's fine. So before I do that, I'll pop this side on. And this, I'm just putting this on so that we can see how all this fits together. I'm going to decide off camera how I'm going to have this displayed and how things are going to be kind of sat so that when I do more videos with this test bench, people can see, and it just makes it far easier. So I'm getting to know this thing just as much as you are at this particular time. But so far, it's a great experience, and I'm loving it. Sorry, stop thinking McDonald's, Neil. Okay, so here we go. Case screw, just there. Come on. There you are. Well done. I can actually put screws in things and make it work. And the final one here. Marvellous. Well, so now we've got his power supply on. It says. Not being able to do that one properly. That's better. We've now got our test bench in kind of some order. Right, so we can then route our cables any way we like. We can pop our power cable over, pop our power cable in, which is good, 24 pin ATX. We could take our supplemental EPS power, we can plug that in, and you can see that already it looks very neat and tidy. So it's beginning to look like a nice setup. I do have the PCIe ones, and the PCIe ones could go around here. They could go up from underneath and through there. So talking of PCIe, how do I sit a graphics card on here? Well, we have 4 little sections here, and we can unscrew these and hopefully they should drop out. You get a nice long rod. Take it with that as you please. We then screw this. Actually, I don't think we do it this way. Let me just check something. What's the clearance? Because that rod did not look high enough, and it's not. So this is where your standard standoffs with the hole in the top actually screw into the rod. This bit comes off the top, and then this screws in here. I would have to make it difficult for myself by putting a graphics card, but yeah, we screw this like so. And if we need another one, we take another, put that in place there. So you can install as many PCIe devices as you wish, because you then unscrew these and screw them in as you wish. Again, I think it's up to 8, but you only have 4 PCIe stands. On the website you can purchase extra stands if you wish. I think that's a little excessive for this use case, but you can then pop this on there like so. You use the 2 thumb screws at the top to hold your card in place, like so, which is quite nice, because now I know my graphics card is held quite securely. This case should be able to hold SSDs as well. So I have my game SSD here, which is something I'm always using, and I think it's these ones around the back that are the M3s, which are for this particular SSD. And then what you can do is you can pop this through the holes here directly into the SSD like that. So through the holes where the rods go. Again, I might need to unfasten another rod. It's harder than it looks, this. unfasten another rod, and then I should be able to fasten in my other SSD, which then lines up nicely, and I can get 2 on there. I don't generally need 2. Sometimes, depending on the motherboard I'm using, depends on if I need 1 or 2. Push that back there so it sits nicely towards the back. Again, really easy to put together. I will pop this here so that it is safe and secure, and I know where it is because I know what I'm like. The minute I take something off, I tend to put it down and lose it, which isn't good. Case in point. Where did that go? Okay, I shall have to find that later. 1 down. So you can see that we have all the relevant screws, all the relevant bits and pieces to be able to mount a computer to this nicely. You can see that it stands up quite elegantly, allowing me to plug in the relevant bits and pieces that I need to be able to make and show you as the audience what's going on and how things are functioning. And I think I've purchased a relatively good tool that I can utilize. You could use this as an open test bench if you wish. It is entirely up to you. So what I also purchased was a power switch. I always like to have a power switch on the cases and on the test benches so that if anything goes wrong, I can literally switch it off without worrying. I don't damage the pins accidentally or anything like that. The power switch goes in one of these holes here. So all I need to do is literally unplug it, unscrew this particular switch, and then you'll see that there is a rubber ring, and that rubber ring goes all the way up here. And that's to stop the switch from scratching anything. Then you screw it in from the bottom, and I've got a funny feeling that I'm going to have to unscrew these 2 standoffs from here to be able to affix the power. We push this on, and now we have power and also power LEDs. Again, these can be routed in any direction you like so that then you can get your power in. And again, we've got our power switch, just like so, and then our power LEDs as well. So all in all, this is a fantastic piece of kit for anybody who wants to show off their things, their computers, be able to maybe experiment with things like overclocking, maybe do what I do, which is looking at the different variety of hardware that we can potentially use within a system. So generally we look at this, and this one has various different colors. You can buy all the spare parts for it, and it's really a nice thing to work on. And I've been using this for as long as you've seen this video. I've taken no pauses with it. This is as it is live, so you've seen this, and it's an absolutely fantastic piece of kit, and it's a real joy to actually work with. From the adjustable height of things all the way down to the way that the feet can be configured into different directions so that you can use them. The fact that it's got rubber on the bottom of the feet so that it doesn't slide around everywhere really makes this a great piece of equipment to actually utilize and show off a computer. Look at that. It looks absolutely amazing. And I can see on camera that it looks absolutely brilliant. And this is what you all need to see when I'm doing case reviews or computer reviews or something like that. So this is by a company called Streacom. That has lots of benefits. They do win in a micro ATX as well, and a mini ITX one. I may purchase that in the future. You can buy all the spare parts. It's absolutely brilliant. One of my favorite things about this is the fact that you can cable manage this whole thing. I've just done this higgledy-piggledy, but if we want to move this EPS power, we could literally put this under the motherboard and through in between all the pins of all the standoffs, and then plug it into the motherboard. It then makes it even tidier because it's not trailing on the outside and going all the way around everything. So the cable management is absolutely fantastic, and it will keep cable clutter right down, especially when I'm testing things on this test bench. It also means that I'm not just sticking it on my desk and I'm not just using it on my desk where there could be a metal shard, there could be something that conducts electricity, therefore blowing up a resistor or something like that and preventing a motherboard from functioning. So it's absolutely brilliant. It does have plenty of points where you could use cable ties if you wanted, but from looking at this, it's relatively easy. You can also add water cooling to this, so you do have some extra little brackets right at the bottom here, and these are literally like fingers as such, if I can get them out of here. So you've got these like little things where you can put on a water cooling system right on the edge, and you can water cool something using a radiator, which is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to put a radiator on here for all test benches so that we can see these. And there you have it. The BC1 V2 full ATX open bench table, as they call it. This is by Streacom. It's really sleek, it's versatile and incredibly functional platform for building and testing a PC. Whether you're a seasoned enthusiast, a bit like me, or just starting out, this is one piece of hardware you'll definitely want in your arsenal to be able to show off your computers, for example. So, thanks for tuning into Nelly's Nerd Cave, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more tech reviews, tutorials and gaming content. You will see this in action in future videos, and until next time, happy building!